Hi, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. This is DocStar TV. And today we're going to be talking to two lovely ladies. One is Shalou and one is Kathy. And they're going to be taking a road trip with their Cellsonics. And they're going to be going to Quebec. Now, why would they do that? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We don't have anybody in Quebec with a Cellsonic. And understand, this is our outreach program. And whether you believe this or not, everybody's going to their doctors and going to health practitioners, but they have been there twice already. And the demand's so high that, they'll be going back every 3 weeks to every 4 weeks. And the reality is that there is nothing like this combination, the 4 pillars, when you actually get the proper nutraceuticals, the proper diet, if you want to call it, okay, but let's call it a perfect day diet, okay? And Wolf non-surgical, all right, and consultations. And that's what they do when they go on the road. Those are the 4 pillars. And they're able to go on the road, and even though they might be just with the person for an hour to 2 hours, we're making a world of difference, okay? And I'm going to explain that more to you today and how we're making a difference. But we have practitioners in United States, in Australia, and in Canada that will take road trips. If you are a clinician, or you have a large following, or you would like them to come to you, then make sure that you get in touch with me, and I'll let you know who can come to you and do an actual Cellsonic road trip. Okay, and they are the whole package, and they will bring the whole package. All right, it's all about not just treating you, but training you. And if you take a look here, okay, BHN Power Pack Healing, we're on every Monday night. Is it? Let me think here. No, every Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night we're on, and we come on at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to see people in your area that have power packs, and they're going to come on with true testimonials from that week. Okay, and we change up. We bring on about 4 or 5 different power pack people, because power pack means a cardio med bed. The most powerful thing, a person that's actually booked for heart surgery, okay, because they have a 92% blockage all the way up to there. Isn't that something? Can actually get a whole new set of arteries in 35 to 37 hours on that bed. It'll turn around impotence. It'll get rid of neuropathy. It will. 1 hour in this bed is the most powerful exercise training program for the human body, and all you did was lay there. Did you get to what I said? And if you have perfect circulation, you've got perfect health. And then the Cellsonic is the most powerful energy medicine device on the planet to reactivate all the way down to the mitochondria. So do your homework on that, because once you reactivate the mitochondria, you reactivate the ATP, which is the energy that gives you life, that turns everything around. I hope you know that you never have a disease unless you've got mitochondrial damage, which is the powerhouse of the cell that makes ATP. And every human, okay, let's say a human weighed 175 pounds, they need to make 225 pounds of ATP a day to have a very vital and healthy life. And we know how to do it. We know how to decalcify the mitochondria. We know how to get the calcium back into the bones. And we know how to actually turn scar tissue back into connective tissue, whether it was from a cesarean or some other surgery, or whether it was from a car accident, or it was just from an inflammatory diet for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 more years, because inflammation creates scar tissue formation and mutation. And guess what? Mutation is just stage 4 inflammation. And we know how to turn around that stage 4 inflammation. And we do. We will never tell you we can cure you, because you're the cure that you've been looking for. Okay? So, the Cellsonic, we're going to talk about that today, because Kathy and Shalou are going to be going on the road with that. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Shalou. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was that for a mouthful?
We're all excited. Yes. And you know, Daryl, how you said before, I mean, I think we're in a time and space on this planet where, you know, in order for us to get ahead, we all have to create those partnerships. So as you said, if there are naturopaths, or I mean, we've been to chiropractors, naturopaths, we've worked with them whereby they
Or
will call
church
it their,
groups, or church
or
groups,
church
or
groups. Right.
organizations. You know what?
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. Nobody has anything to lose, because guess what? We at Braveheart Nation give a money back guarantee on our therapies, don't we? Okay?
Yeah.
We will come and we will rock your world. And that's the truth. I mean, and everyone, check out my pdgfree.com and get my perfect day guide. Here it is here. And if you want to start off with this, you're going to get a real good idea what we're about and what Kathy and Shalou are about. It's all in here, and you can download it. And if you love it, I guarantee you, right from recipes to emotions to nutraceuticals to exercise to everything, we will ship this right to your door. All right? Anywhere around the world. Okay. All right, ladies, tell us about your trip.
So we leave tomorrow morning. We're heading down that 401 corridor. So, you know, if anyone in Pickering, Ajax, Oshawa, Kingston,
Coburg, Kingston, Belleville,
Ottawa,
Williamsburg.
yeah, she's stopping in Williamsburg. I have clients booked for 6 p.m. in Laval. So I'm, you know, but we're leaving early enough that if we needed to, we could make a couple stops along the way. So, you know, we've stopped in Ottawa, Canada. So any place along there, if you need treatments, you can call me at 705-828-2257, because I can probably squeeze in 1 or 2 treatments along the way tomorrow. And then Saturday, I'm doing treatments in the morning. And then we're doing a lecture.
Where, Shalou? Always say where
because our
and when.
Airbnb is in Laval.
Thank you.
Yep. And then we'll be heading over to St. Lambert. We've got the address here.
That's Laval.
Yeah.
Here's St. Lambert.
St. Lambert, 675 Rue Green in St. Lambert. We're doing a lecture there from 11 until 1. And we are taking the Cellsonics. Both of us will have our Cellsonics there, and we'll be able to do treatments right there. So, you know, if you're experiencing any kind of pain, I mean, it just takes a few minutes to get that stiff knee to not be stiff anymore, to get that pain gone out of the shoulder, the elbow, you know, oh my God, my back is hurting. It just takes, like, this machine is so powerful and fantastic. It literally takes just a few minutes and you can feel how fantastic that feels. I had a gentleman that was experiencing a lot of pain and discomfort, you know, in his kidney area. And, you know, we did, I think we did covered both his kidneys and made sure we got the liver and everything. So we did about 1,000, 1,200 pulses, and takes maybe 5 minutes. And he got up and he's like, oh my God, like the pain is gone. Like it's that instantaneous, like it's amazing, right? So
if I can say something, everyone, and then I want you to continue this, but I just want to give everybody the science of it, okay? So we are electrical beings. That's the end of it. When there's no electricity in you, then your spirit energy has left your body. Okay? All right? Our spirit energy came in, our spirit energy left, and it's energy, it's electrical, it's frequencies. You better get that. And understand something. That's why the Cellsonic will actually shut down, okay, stage 4 inflammation. Now, we did not say it will cure it, because the person's personality has to match the reality of an actual healing, and then the personality needs to match after the healing, a perfect day, because if you go back to your old personality, you get what you got. You get what you got because of your personality. So if you are willing to understand that your personality is not actually your personality, it's just a bunch of beliefs, that you pulled some from here, from here, from here, and that created your personality, which created your disease, because there are no diseases. It was actually your personality that did it, and there are no symptoms. These are messages from your body that you are out of alignment and out of harmony with your spirit energy, which you could bring up or move down, because frequency turns Cancer on, turns Cancer off, and this frequency gives me diabetes. This frequency gives me heart disease. this frequency gives me prostate cancer. You think I'm kidding? Understand something. Every image creates a thought. Every thought creates an action. And that action creates a reaction. And that reaction is either going to be better health or you are going to get sicker. So understand, you can do one pulse, and this is actual science, one pulse with a Cellsonic, and it will actually decalcify the mitochondria, which could be only spinning 300 times per second when you have a dis-ease because there's calcification and crystallization. And guess what? One pulse will decalcify it, and it'll spin back to 2,500 pulses. Now, will it stay there? Well, it will if you learn how to create a perfect day on an emotional and physical level from the morning you get up until you go to bed. Let me tell you something. We have people that have stage 4 cancer, and the pain, you know what? They're on their road to healing, and they can't get rid of the pain, and they just want to leave their bodies. And we will do this Cellsonic, and I can say this, and I don't care because nobody's going to come after me. They can try to come after me, and understand something. People will come after you when they hear this because no way in the world are you allowed to say that. No, people are just supposed to suffer and dumb themselves down with drugs, right? Well, guess what? We are energy medicine devices, so we need to use an energy medicine device if we want to get there right now. Everything you eat, everything you drink, and everything you do is trying to get you to have no inflammation, restore your immune system, equilibrium, proper circulation. Well, what if we brought the thunder down by using the Cellsonic? And with a lot of our Power Pack clinics, they have a Cellsonic and a cardio med bed. Go ahead, ladies.
Well, exactly. And like we are energy beings, as you said, and everything is a battery pack. So when the battery is draining, you're not going to get the same power out of it. But the minute you do the Cellsonic, well, now you put the charge back to where it should be. And now when it's fully charged, hello, you got that energy, you got that life force back. And so the healing and everything else just happens effortlessly.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes
If I can say,
top-up.
Kathy, if I can say this, the Cellsonic will actually create a new cellular rhythmic program on its electrical standard. So most people, okay, as life goes on, it's like, you know, when you leave the lights on in your car and the battery goes dead, when you go to recharge it, it doesn't come back to full capacity. It only goes here. And then you go and do that enough times, your full capacity might be down by 80%. And that's called, hey, listen, you're doing okay for your age. Okay, now you become a statistic and understand things like the cardio med bed, the nutraceuticals, getting on a perfect day diet, the non-surgical, and the Cellsonic. When you put this all together, but at least the Cellsonic is the master blaster. Let's just be aware of that. When you create an electrical current energy higher than the one you are, okay, it will actually start restoring it. It'll restore it. It'll go higher and higher. Let me tell you something. Your vibration and your energy is only as good as the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Now, what if you started hanging around with people that had higher energy, unlimited beliefs? That's the same thing with this energy medicine. You want to go to the same natural therapies that everybody else is doing and getting the same results, or do you want to bring the thunder down? Kathy?
No, exactly. And what I've been seeing just in my travels, there's a real need for the sciatica and the sacrum area. People are just solidified in those areas, and the amount of instant relief that I've been seeing there, maybe even a top-up, 1 or 2 top-ups, and it just decalcifies that area where you're solidified in that area. But it resonates right through the fascia. So that's your battery pack, and your fascia is running like an electrical cord to each battery pack. So you may be working on a certain area to decalcify and get that area working again, but it's also resonating all through. It is a wonderful energy machine where it's benefiting all the cellular structure where the wand actually hits, but it also is resonating throughout everywhere. And it just gives you that kick start. So there's been a lot of SI joints, sciatica, that sort of the discomfort, I worked on a
Well,
lot
actually,
of.
if I can, Kathy, if I can intervene, it doesn't matter what joint you put it on. It doesn't matter where you put it. And actually what the Cellsonic does, if there's a lot of calcification, is it causes very small microfractures. Those small microfractures actually create calcium ions. Whoa, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Why don't you do some research? Okay, are you ready for this? So does anybody realize that when a baby's born, how does it grow so fast? Well, because every millimeter of every bone in that baby's body is continually creating small microfractures, which create calcium ions that create the calcium to actually put into all those micro cracks, and that's why they get longer. Are you getting this? So when we use a Cellsonic on you, we don't just decalcify the mitochondria to get your spin back to make your ATP, which a healthy person needs, okay, but we also create calcium ions. And how many people know that calcium ions and iodine ions are the most important thing in the human body in reconstructing the whole body? Calcium ions do over 120,000 different hormonal and chemical processes per second. Okay, and then I'll just say a little thing about the iodine ions. And we have the only pure iodine in the world, and that's called infinite iodine. Iodine, you need to have it in your body every day, and guess what? If you had enough iodine in your body, guess what it does? Iodine triggers a mechanism that any cell that becomes cancer, it will off itself. You get that? So being deficient in calcium ions and iodines is a big no-no. All right? So when we can actually start triggering this response, okay, to actually start reactivating the calcium ion channels. All right? Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, and case in point, I mentioned this on the last show too. When I treated this lovely lady, she has she had a bad car accident many years ago, and she has phantom pain in her leg. And exactly what you're saying there. When we directed the wand on her tibia area, it was actually, she felt more response from the point of where the bones were. And that message was getting all the way up to the brain, because the senses in that leg, she was feeling it more on the tips of the bone. And then later on, 24 hours later, I heard that the pain she was feeling in the foot that was no longer there had shifted from the phantom ankle into the middle, like the middle bottom of her foot. So
Rough.
these pulses are resonating through all the way to the brain and making things shift. Pretty soon she'll feel nothing there, because what we're doing is we're sealing it in with the energy. We're not giving the big blast of power 10. It's the healing energy of power 4. I think we got up to a 5, but that's all you need to just seal it in there, and it's resonating all the way through. Also helping out with the knee pain and whatnot. But I'm finding a lot of shoulder and back issues for whatever reason. Maybe it's winter and people are shoveling more. I don't know. We got a doozy last night here. But yeah, so, and with muscle structure, repairing with, somebody came to me with, they were digging a lot of dirt back in the fall there. That just came to mind there about muscle structure too. Where they tore something in this part here. What do you call that? And I zapped them there with the pulse, and immediately they felt relief. But 24 hours later, they said they had full range. There was nothing else. He could go and dig some more. So it's not just for bones; it's muscle structure. It's anything, and healing any open wounds, that sort of thing too. So it'll get right in there. The electricity that goes through the body. We are electrical beings. You see that when you go into the hospital and then they put the electrodes on you to measure your heart rate. You know you're electrical beings, and you've got to get your electricity kickstarted back into your system again, because it is healing. Voltage is healing.
Thank you. So everybody, if you've got questions, anybody that's on right now, we'll take questions from Rumble. We'll take questions from TikTok. We'll take questions from Facebook. We'll take questions from X, which was known as Twitter. And we'll take questions from, what else are we on? YouTube, that's it. So those are the places we'll take questions. And if I could, let me see here. Can the Cellsonic help with gastritis? Yes, it can. Absolutely. And gastritis is improper pH. It's not about your hydrochloric acid. It's about you've got too much acidity in there. And the problem is this. Are you ready for this? So let's say if somebody had gastritis, right? So what we've got is we've got a problem, and believe it or not, this is the main problem. You've been not even knowing it, but you've been using your diaphragm to push down when you're on the toilet to try to push out your bowel movements. That's the God's truth. And what happens is the stomach valve starts to pop up a little higher. Now, let's say that Kathy or Shalou came to you, okay, and they did the Cellsonic on you. They would probably do just maybe 100 pulses just here, just right here, okay, right around this area here, okay, and what would happen is they did 100 pulses, then they would go in there, and that would have decalcified the area because, believe it or not, with gastritis is inflammation, so, right, that's what it means, itis is inflammation. So the reality is the inflammation causes the scar tissue formation and the calcification. And so now the valve can't go back into place properly. So by using the Cellsonic first, they help to decalcify and then bring the electrical charge into the tissue. And guess what? They'll go in there with their elbow, wolf non-surgical, and guess what? Within about, I don't know, how about this? 3 to 5 minutes, they've reversed it. How's that for an answer? And that's the God's truth. And nobody does it like that. Can it help prostatitis? Well, understand something. The reality is prostatitis means you have an inflamed prostate. And the reality is if you do have that, everybody, you know what? You got to look at daily cleansing tea and black gold and curcumin cayenne 5000. And if you're traveling, instead of the daily cleansing tea, use the daily cleansing tea caps. There's no stimulants, no laxatives. But the reality is again, these ladies could come to you and they could do about, I would say to do that area, about 200 to 250 pulses. And then they're going to go in there and use non-surgical, and they're going to unravel your pubic bone. So above your pubic bone, on your pubic bone, below your pubic bone, okay, that's where your prostate is. All right. So, and then if you did a perfect day consult with them, they're going to give you why you're pooping in your pelvis. Nobody has prostate inflammation unless they're pooping in their pelvis and they have so much infection that creates the inflammation. And that's the God's truth. And that's created mainly because of sugar, flour, processed foods, but mainly antibiotics that create pinholes in your large intestine. Now you've got a screen door in your large intestine and you're pooping in your pelvic bowl. There. Let me see. Is it possible to buy Cellsonic machine? Yes. And I'm going to go through that at the end, and I'm going to tell you we're the only ones in the world that when you buy a Cellsonic, okay, we give you a New World practitioner training that's worth almost $10,000. Okay, so I will be going through the slideshow on that later. All right, I'm going to show you what you get, because when you get a cardio med bed, which is these cardio med beds, they sell for around $250,000 new. We're getting them out of different hospitals and different clinics because the hospitals won't use them anymore because the cardiac doctors they don't get to do heart surgery when those beds are in there. Did you hear what I just said? To understand why they won't use them. They shut them down. These are $250,000 beds, and we buy them and we repurpose them. And when somebody buys a bed, they can get a Wolf non-surgical training or a whole life coach training free, okay? And they're only paying $35,000 for a $250,000 cardio med bed. And the cheapest you'll ever be able to buy one for would be $150,000. This is what we're doing to make power pack clinics all over the world. When people buy a Cellsonic, they get the whole life coach training and they get the also the Wolf non-surgical, but you get a lot more than that. But after we're done talking to the ladies, I will run through that with you. Licia. Go ahead, ladies. You're on mute. You've muted yourself.
There we
We
are.
are too. Well, that's the advantage of coming to our home clinics, is because we have the cardio med beds here in Barrie, Ontario. Shalou has one and I have one in our home clinics. And that's it's a beautiful thing when you can get on that cardio bed first and then get your treatment with the Cellsonic, because it gets your circulation going even faster. It would be lovely to be able to take these cardio beds on the road.
800 pounds, and that's not happening.
I think it's more than that. It's huge. Well, we have to get a traveling motorhome or something and get
Even
it.
this machine is not the easiest thing
It
to move.
takes two to move
Yeah.
these. So
You know, it's 150 pounds right here,
Yeah.
but at least we're able to move it and let people have a little taste of the relief that they could have. Because, you know, when you're sick and you're in pain, it's a lot to travel that far. And because of, you know, our connections there and people feeling good, just spreading the word, you know, and so that's why we keep going back there, because there is a large community that has had the benefits of the healing from this machine. So they keep telling their friends, you know, you tell two and they'll tell two and so on and so on. And so
the big want for them.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean,
Well,
this is our third trip in less than 6 months.
Yeah. First time we went.
there's a huge market everywhere, but we know the French have always been into natural health, right?
Yes.
And if you don't know, everyone, that Quebec is really the core, the hub of French speaking. Okay. And if I can say this, Cher, after hip replacement, are you able to rebuild in any way? Let me tell you something. After hip replacement, how many people know that hip replacement causes more scar tissue than any other surgery except for cesareans? Did you get that? A cesarean is the worst surgery you can have to mess up your life. Okay, you do a cesarean and you're going to grow 2 to 3 inch feeders on it over 2 to 3 years that wrap around your spine or wrap around your ovaries, your uterus, your fallopian tubes, or they choke off your small intestine or large intestine, so now you can't poop right, can't digest things properly, or your love life is gone because it's so painful, you get so dry down there because there's so much scar tissue, cuts off the circulation. You're going to have stiffness, you're going to have bloating, you're going to have pain, you're going to feel older, and that's it. And understand something, if we did Cellsonic and then we, on the area, on just the scar tissue there of a cesarean, and then we did non-surgical, we would reduce the brown, the black, the gray color, the scar tissue by usually about 60 to 80%. You heard what I said? First treatment. And it's all about circulation. Does everybody know that all scar tissue can be reversed back into beautiful connective tissue, whether it's an organ, whether it's a tendon, ligament, or muscle? I don't mind being challenged on this because I've already proven it over the 40 years I've been in business. You don't have to have a scar, whether it's internal or external, if you know what you're doing. And as far as the hip replacement goes, after a hip replacement, now you've got a calcified hip, and now you've got a foreign object in there. And that foreign object, believe it or not, causes irritation, inflammation, more scar tissue formation, and it's not even, and the surgery caused a ton of it, and you're going to have all that calcification. So now what happens, we go in there, and even if we didn't have a Cellsonic with Wolf non-surgical, I guarantee you if we did one treatment on your hip, you would go, hallelujah, this is a miracle. I haven't had that flexibility, that strength, that feeling that it's not heavy to drag it around, and I don't have that deep aching pain. But if you can do the Cellsonic and you can do the Wolf non-surgical, you're off to the races. And yes, Judy, if you want to know where you can get an actual Cellsonic and Wolf non-surgical therapist, go to bhnpowerpack.com. Ladies?
Well, we're excited about this trip. And so as I was saying, we're doing a lecture on Saturday, and then we're doing a lecture again on Sunday, right in Laval at 1965 Boulevard Industrial in Laval. And the Sunday lecture will be from 11:30 to 1:30. And again, both Cellsonics will be there. So come, you know, bring your questions, bring your aches and pains, and let's get rid of them.
Yeah, that'll be after we get out of our Airbnb. But if anybody needs more services and whatnot, I'm willing to stay another day. I don't know if you can, but whatever interest is there.
Exactly.
We're in the area,
We're already
we're there
Put us to
anyway.
work.
Yeah, put us to work. So that's very interesting what you were saying about the hip replacement there, Daryl, because we're seeing it firsthand in our practices too, with the scar tissue and how if you're not getting treatment, that some of it's resonating over to the other hip. So they're coming because they want to avoid the other hip having to be done as well. So if
Well,
you
actually, it doesn't resonate over. You remember, if you're pooping in your pelvis, the weak link's going to go first. But let me tell you something. If a woman comes in and she has stage 4 inflammation, they call cancer, in one breast, it's in the other breast already. Now, that doesn't work like that. So when the reason why people have hip problems, and this is 98% of all hip surgeries, they're not done from the 98% of them are not from car accidents. They're not from sports injuries. They're from pooping in your pelvis. And people don't get that. This is a long-term thing. I mean, what people don't realize is some people actually have to wait 6 months to a year, yes or no, to get a hip replacement. If they go to one of our Power Pack specialists, listen, we have so many people that have come down to Extapa Zihuatanejo with hip problems, spinal problems, knee problems, and they actually are booked for surgery, and they'll fly down here, okay, and the surgery's in 2 weeks, and I'll tell them that if they come down here that they'll cancel the surgery within the first week. We have totally forgotten what the human body can do. It doesn't matter. So whether you've had surgery, if you've had surgery, you need this. If you want to avoid surgery, what is it going to cost to actually do one treatment to prove that we can turn the lights on, that you are the ultimate healing being, and we will show you the strategies, but we will prove to you that we can increase that circulation. I mean, especially like when people come down here, the same as if they go to Kathy or Shalou's place in Barrie, if they come to Extapa Zihuatanejo, we've got Cardio Medbed, we have Cellsonic, we have the PMF, we have the red light therapy, we have Bioptron, we have Avicin. It goes on and on. But the reality is it's all about frequency, it's all about energy, and understand something. What did Einstein say? The future of medicine will be in energy medicine, because we are energy medicine beings. So that's why even our products, you can't call our products supplements. They're nutraceuticals, because the vibration in our products is so high.
And we'll be
Ladies, what would
traveling with those.
Yes. Well,
What would
Daryl, when you talk about the surgery, there was a lady that, we tried to tell her that she won't need the knee replacement, but no, the doctor said, so she got the knee replacement back in November. And she's still walking with a cane. She's still in pain. It's not healed, right? And we're like, what, December, Jan, Feb, into March now. And so, surgery is not just a quick fix either. Like, you're still going to experience all that pain, and the fact that it creates the most scar tissue, you're still going to have to come back and do this anyway. So what do you have to lose to try this first?
Well, why do you want a huge foreign object in your hip? I mean, when you have a sliver, your finger will swell, it'll inflame, it'll get pussy. What do you think you've got when you've got that in there? Remember something, everyone. You're just feeding corporations that do not give a crap about you. You need to get that. Corporations have no pulse, no heart. They have a bottom line, and that's it. And you know what? You can say, well, look at, he's just trying to get us to come to him. Well, then don't come to me. Go to one of my other Power Pack people, okay? I get no money for it. The reality is the truth is the truth. And the reality is a woman is going to go, and you ready for this? And this is where I'll get tomatoes thrown at me. It's a good thing that you're not at a lecture, that they could. But the reality is this woman actually picked going to surgery because her life was about suffering. Her life was about how much suffering she has to do to prove her worthwhile. Do you ever notice something, how we're programmed? Everybody's always trying to reach nirvana. Everybody's always trying to be accepted and approved. When am I going to qualify as a human being? I mean, God, seriously? You know what? Why do we pick poison drugs? Why do we pick being knifed? Why do we pick being radiated? Why do we pick mustard gas? Why do we pick all of these things? Because guess what? Our self-worth. Also, we do not believe that we have the power to heal, or we have belief systems that believe we don't deserve to heal. Ladies?
Well, that's what we're programmed with.
Yeah. And you know, it takes, I mean, just this week, I had a couple clients where, you know, I'm trying to tell them that your personality creates your reality. And they're just like, oh, but you know, it's so hard to change. And I'm like, well, if you're enjoying the experience, please continue. By all means, keep doing
Let's try
it.
and work it out.
But if you're not enjoying the experience, like if nothing changes, nothing changes. And you know, I mean, we all think we're the best. I mean, my God, I was the martyr 5 years ago. I was the one saving the whole world and saving all my family. And I was miserable, and I was making everyone around me miserable. You know, and once I just sort of said, okay, forget it all. I'm taking all the masks off. I'm letting go of everything. I'm just going to focus on me. For once in my life, I'm not going to live for my parents. I'm not going to live for my kids. I'm not going to live for my husband. I'm not going to live for my customers at the restaurant. I'm going to live for me. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And guess what? In turn, that was the biggest gift I gave everyone else around me, because I stopped being miserable.
And she's still fun to be around. And it's the education too. And it comes part and parcel with this. The little, if you want a full consultation or just a little bit, just to see how do you realize how you got to where you're at right now? Did you know that they've changed the soil over the years, that the nutrients aren't in the food? All of that is discussed, and it's all recognized. It's all documented. It's all science. That's everything that we talk about is already documented, and it's just making you realize that there is a possibility out there when the other system is saying, oh, you just got to keep coming and cutting and burning and poisoning and whatnot. So it's all the part and parcel.
I think the hardest part, though, is the lies we tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We truly believe that we are. I mean, I literally had the one lady yesterday, you know, she sat in front of me and she's like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so positive. And I'm like, can you just take that mask off for a second? Can you just be real? Because your life, your whole consultation is screaming that you're in pain. Can we just be real for a moment? Can you just focus on yourself for a second? And I don't know, I mean, especially for women, we're just taught to be the martyrs, right? It's our job to be the nurturers and take care of everyone else and put ourselves last. And somewhere in there, the martyrdom sits in. It sets in, and then we can't let go of it. And honestly, the biggest gift I gave my family was to finally start taking care of myself. That's not selfish. That's the most selfless act you can do, because in taking care of myself, I gave my daughter, who was watching, she's like, oh, it's like she got permission to now focus and take care of herself. And then the boys, who were the biggest skeptics of all, were like, oh, she's still doing this. 2 years, 3 years later, she's still at it. Let me just check. Maybe there's something to this. And guess what? The same house that used to be hell, and I was like, when are you guys moving out? Just get out, go live your life. 5 of us are still under the same roof, and yet we have more meaningful, beautiful conversations. And that's just on the emotional level. On the physical level, we're all so much healthier. Because when you change the thoughts up here, when you start changing the old patterns of thinking, you can't help but start being conscious of, okay, what am I putting in through my eyes? What am I putting in through my ears? What am I putting in through my mouth? It's that important. Like when you start focusing on yourself, and it's a full-time job.
It is. You got to catch each other on too. Catch yourself on, catch each other on, because every so often that all slips back. Yeah, the programming, it's out there. It's out there in the radio, TV, all that. So
the beauty of it, though, Kathy, is where it might have taken a couple of weeks to get out of that situation. It comes down to a couple of days. Then it comes down to a couple hours. And then it's a couple of minutes. And now it's like, oh, I'm not going there again. Yeah. This feels way too good. I am not leaving this platform. Right. I feel way amazing, because when I keep those beliefs, when I slip into the old beliefs, the pain comes. So no, thank you. No, thank you.
It's a beautiful journey. We'd love to hear from you and see how we can help you along the way. You can reach me. I'm Kathy at 705-715-8255. 8716, or check out my website at advancedhealing.ca.
You can reach me, Shalou, at 705-828-2257. You can email me, Shalou, at lotuslife.health. You can check out my website, lotuslife.health, or find me on Facebook, lotuslife.health. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to, sometimes it's just about a conversation, right? A lot of people might be thinking, well, I don't know if this is for me. Well, what's it going to cost you? Give us a call. Let's chat. See if it resonates with you, because if it does, then you're ready, right? Because it takes time. Not everyone is ready to heal. Sometimes we're so bought into our suffering that it's like, oh no, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. So take your time, but let's have a conversation and see how close you are to be ready to heal and live your best life, because that's what it's all about. I don't know how much time I got here, but you know what? Every second of it is going to be the best, most fantastic moment ever, because I choose to make it so.
I know, and I spent a good while, half hour or more on the phone with somebody yesterday just to see, okay, what can I do? What can I come see you? I said, absolutely. That phone call, that initial phone call, any phone call doesn't cost anything. Let's see what we can do. There's a possibility out there for everybody, but it takes that personal commitment.
Well, you got to take that massive personal action, right?
That's
you got
right.
to choose you. So do it.
Love to hear from
Beautiful.
you.
So everybody, if you want to find their road tour route, go to bhnpowerpack.com. You'll also see other people from Australia, Canada, United States that have Power Pack clinics, and they're growing all the time. And as I said, I will go over and tell you if you're interested in a Power Pack clinic or part of it, okay, what we can do. Shalou, what would you like to leave everybody with?
Well, just, you know what? Like I said, every day is a blessing. So I hope you get up in the morning being so excited about the opportunity you have for the next 24 hours to make it the best 24 hours ever, right? And if you're struggling with that, then, like I said, reach out. We do emotional, nutritional, and physical consultations. There's simple things. There's so many simple therapies that we can teach you, from clapping to belly button therapy to skin brushing to doing the squats, the crab stretch, the breathing exercises that cost you, nothing at all, but just putting yourself first, choosing to live a healthier lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle change. This isn't a quick fix, but it's going to be a life-changing, life everlasting once you make it a lifestyle change.
Oh, absolutely. And just even having discussions with people along the way, knowing that it's changed my life, all of my outlook, my health, everything, right? Relationships with my family. It was mainly why I got into this, was because of my family, not for me. Like who needs, self-help when it's my family that needs help? And then I realized why my family is the way they are is because of what I was inviting them to do. But anyway, learning all of these in Dr. Daryl's classes and learning about the energy medicine, we would just like to exude that on everybody, because it is a personal choice, a personal journey, and we'd love to help you along the way. And let's see what we can do. Again, I'm just going to repeat my my phone number. It's 705-715-8716, or you can look at my website at advancedhealing.ca, and my email is info@advancedhealing.ca.
Yeah, and you can call me at 705-828-2257, or check out my website, lotuslife.health, or follow me on Facebook, Lotus Life Health.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks for joining me, and have a beautiful day, and have the best road trip ever.
Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Bye now.
Bye.
Well, there you go. And just know this: change your personality, you change your life, you change your reality. Your reality feeds your personality, as we all know. And I want everybody to consider maybe coming out and checking the Whole Life Coach certification in Stewart, Florida, June. And then we're going to be doing the Wolf Non-Surgical certification. Anybody can come and take this. We have doctors, naturopaths. We have people that just want to learn it for their family. 50% of the people that take the Whole Life Coach certification, they're at the end of the rope. They've tried everything else. I guarantee you by the third day, I'll give you a money back guarantee by the Whole Life Coach, whether you're coming as a professional. I don't care if you've been in business for 30, 40 years, we'll rock your world on an emotional, nutritional, physical level. We've got what it takes, and I mean it. It's a 9-day course, 4 on, 1 day off, 4 on. And from people just getting out of a university or out of high school, or just a mother, a father, or, you know what, if you want to own your life, or if you want to bring the standard of healing and care up and in your clinic, you want to check out my Whole Life Coach course. And the Wolf Non-Surgical, there's no more powerful body work. You can go and get your registered massage therapy license if you want. And as far as I'm concerned, that's Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. I'm not trying to put it down, but guess what I did when I got out of school? When I got out of school, the first thing I did is I went and became a registered massage therapist. It took me 6 months after I got out of school, and I said, no, I am not going to do this technique at all. And whether you believe it or not, massage therapy is superficial. Do I love it? Oh my God, yeah. You know what? I can get a really great massage down here at the beach, okay, where I like to go swimming, and that will cost me like, I think it's around $20. Oh my God. I mean, I'm living in heaven, right? Had a stressful day. But they're not going to turn around a knee problem. They're not going to bring a fibroid down. They're not going to get rid of a spinal problem. They're not going to get rid of any type of chronic problem. Okay? So everything has its place in life, but if you don't know how to turn scar tissue back into beautiful connective tissue, then what are you even doing? And if you ask most body workers, they don't even understand scar tissue. They think it comes with a car accident or a sports injury. And I don't care if they've been in business for 1 year or 20 years. They still don't understand it. And if they watch my masterclass, Reverse the Irreversible, in my library, they'd have it. Or if they watch the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing, they would understand it. But people don't break off the path, do they? They take the beaten path. You get it? The beaten path? That's why it's called that. All right? So anyways, we'll be doing that. We're also doing the 3-day women's masterclass, the pelvic restoration. Every woman needs to do it. The most powerful thing a woman could learn is vaginal infusion and really what's going on in their holy grail. And that's the God's truth. Go to BHN University or braveheartnation.com. Right now, I'd like to just go to my slideshow here. So this is for 3 people that just asked me because people are waking up right now. When somebody comes in and they buy a Cellsonic, what I've talked about, okay, they get a free New World Practitioner certification. Okay, the Whole Life Coach certification is worth almost $4,000, $3,900. The Whole Life Coach is worth $3,900. The Wolf Non-Surgical is worth $4,900. So add that up. And then soon as you buy that unit, you'll also become part of our wholesale group. For all the Doc of Detox, we'll give you an affiliate number you can give to people so that you can be paid on it or give them a discount. Weekly practitioner Zoom meetings with myself and Dr. Sage Wolf. And that's for life. There's no cost for that. You get my personal phone number to call me as often as you need to for support. Okay, you'll get exclusive practitioner portal. That comes with all of this. All right, you'll get you'll get referrals from us because what we have is we have a practitioner's world map. Now, a lady's asking from Carolina, do you have a practitioner there? Right now, Cynthia is working full blast on this. We are getting everyone that ever took our course, getting in contact with them, finding out if they're still operating, and we will have out in 4 weeks a map of the world, people's address, people's phone number, and what they actually do. And that will be up for everybody, I promise, okay? All right, we've been so busy building. I mean, you know, we have trained, and I'm not exaggerating this, we have trained in the last 2 years 600 practitioners. All right, right now we have 24, okay, Power Pack clinics, and we're going to get 2,400 of them around the world, and we're all coming together to work as a Braveheart Nation. Okay, let me keep going here. So now let's say you bought, let's say you only bought the cardio med bed. okay? If you buy the cardio med bed, you get to pick one of the trainings free, okay? Because the cardio med bed's only $35,000. It's a $150,000 to $250,000 device, and it's in mint condition. Understand, these hospitals didn't use them because all the cardiologists went on strike. Go figure, eh? And they said, we leave or they leave. Because the cardio med bed in 35 hours to 37, that's it. Even if you did nothing else, you didn't change your diet, you didn't do any nutraceuticals, it would actually reverse heart disease. I hope you're getting this. It would reverse heart disease and you wouldn't need the surgery. A brand new set of arteries. But it doesn't just do that. Right from your toe to your nose, you get perfect circulation. What do you think that does for your breathing? What do you think it does for your whole body? Listen, we are bringing on the thunder, and there is nobody that comes close to us. If you've got perfect circulation and you've got high electrical conductivity right down to the mitochondrial level, you've got the power pack. I know what I'm doing. And this is why I am a threat. And I'm not threatening anyone. I'm trying to tell the world, the majority, not corporations, not the medical system, they don't want to hear about us. They don't want to hear about this. None of them do. They all feel threatened because of the bottom line. I always say follow the money. Follow the money. Okay? All right. So if you buy a cardio med bed, you get a whole life coach certification or a Wolf non-surgical, your choice. So you know what? It's whatever you want, okay? And then you get the wholesale VIP, the affiliate, the weekly trainings. You get the exclusive practitioner portal. There's so much information in there. I've got over 160 live consults that I've done for you to train from. Understand something. Don't you dare think for a second that you haven't got what it takes. You come and take my whole life coach course for 9 days, you're ready to do a perfect day consult. Did you get that? You will outshine any hygienist out there. You will outshine most of the so-called natural health consultants out there. Isn't it kind of funny how there's more natural health care workers in the world than there is medical people, but people are getting sicker. And then you know why? Because they don't know how to hold the line. They don't know when you've got a 20-foot hole, how to build a 20-foot ladder. We do not play inky-dinky schnitzel house. When you come to me, I'm not going to try to sell you on anything. I'm going to tell you what I believe you need to get yourself out of the hole, and then you can maintain. Most people do not realize, and neither do health practitioners, you need to front end load at the beginning and bring up the circulation, bring up the vibration, bring up the light, but mainly you've got to get that person to have faith in themselves and get rid of any dysfunctional beliefs that have a chokehold on them and say you're not worth it. You don't deserve to be well. And understand something, whether you're having financial problems, mental problems, or physical problems, it's all part of your personality. Take responsibility for your personality, okay, before anything else. Because guess what? You were programmed to be less, to have less, and that's it. And that's the deal. So you can think anything you want, but the reality is guess what? This is not ego. This is not arrogance. This is, you should be claiming your God-given right as the creator of your life. But you can't do that if you don't have tools. How much is the med bed, Daryl? Did you say $35,000? Yes, but it's not refurbished. The things are brand new. Ask anybody with a cardio med bed. You know, most of them look like they just came off the, and also just know this, guys, I'm the only person that's selling them, and you get a 2-year warranty on the cardio med bed. 2 years. And guess what? They will come and they will show you, set it up. They will come and show you how to run it if you want. And remember, for 2 years, that bed is covered. And understand, that second year cost me $5,000. But I want everyone to be able to be in operation for 2 years because that bed has been more than paid off. It was paid off in the first year. And remember something, anybody that gets a power pack from me, okay, I will come and lecture for them. I'll come and lecture for them. And you're promoted on our BHN Power Pack website. You're on the map. And we're going to have a map for non-surgical, whole life coach, cardio med bed, Cellsonic, and you'll be on all 4 of those. You understand? Okay, this is what it's all about. This is Braveheart Nation. Remember something. You know how I feel the most successful? When I see people like Shalou and Kathy successful. You know, think about it. What did they spend? They spent if you're in Canada, they spent $200,000 on these two devices. And understand something. You won't hear any complaints from them. And there's a reason. You know what? It's like this. There's no risk with these devices. I've backed my whole reputation right behind you. There's not a person that bought these devices or that came to my training that'll ever tell you that I didn't give them 10 times what they paid, because I can. Because I am the abundance. I am the abundance. I have the energy. I have the information. It's just like anybody that comes and takes our course, you know, they get my library free. They get the whole shopping cart free. And we'll build a website for them for $2,200. Or I think it's $2,250. I'm not really sure, because I don't make 1 penny off of this. None. I don't need to. You have to understand something. I don't have any addictions, and I don't need to have an elaborate life. What I need is an elaborate life where we are creating Braveheart heroes everywhere around the world. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. The day that you decide to turn on your light and to bring up your frequency, and then you share it with the world, you'll never be happier. You'll never be more satisfied. You won't be looking at the last 15 years of your life going, I feel unaccomplished. Because the deal was, my father used to say, Daryl, we were born to serve. That used to piss me off. And it's because he was miserable. My father was a born-again Christian pastor, and he was always miserable. He was miserable. And I went, wow, if this is serving, I want none of it. But guess what? If you find your passion and your purpose, and you start gifting the world with that, that's all it is. And that's how we change the world. We don't change the world by going to war. We don't change the world by voting. We don't change the world by complaining about any systems out there. We just have to mind our own business, our own system, our digestive system, our cardiovascular system, our nervous system, okay? But mainly, might want to get in touch with the solar system, the creator of everything, and then find out that which created everything never ever judged you for anything and said, oh my God, you went down to a life-threatening experience and you're rocking that. I don't know. You know what? I decided if they're going to make up all these stories, there's only 45,000 different prominent religions. I decided that I would make up my own story where I'm the hero of my life, and that which created the universe has always had my back, and that humans were always going to be on the attack, and that's it. So if I didn't have this belief system, and I had any guilt about who I am, what I am, listen, I observe and I learn about things. Don't think that I just do things. And every day I observe my day. And you know, it's pretty risky. Because I have to take everybody to the cliff, show them where they're going to fall, and then pull them back and show them that I love them. And that's the only way to crack the coconut from the inside out. I am not aggressive. I'm just taking massive personal action because I want everyone to be here and experience the life that they were promised. And that's the God's truth. You know what? These parasites, okay, they're always going to be here. They're always going to feed off of us. They get off on this. They have the love of power. Well, guess what? You will never, ever be able to say that about me. Even the people that want to, that will try to, I have the power of love because I understand something, okay, that I am infinite. And I better get my game on. And how you win down here is you understand that you are a light energy, electrical, magnetic being, and whatever you put out there, you're going to get back. So you can pray all you want, but if you're praying, you better be putting out there what you want. But if you don't deserve, if you feel you're not deserving for some reason, you will never get it anyway. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. I can't do this. I was never good at this. That's it. Okay, I know where you stand. I know where you stand. And guess what? You should shut your mouth, start minding your business, and be the creator that you were created to be. And that's the God's truth. Again, I'm going to tell you that I live now. We didn't move away. We traveled for the last year and a half all around the world teaching our courses. And we've got a course coming up in Stewart in June. And then we're in Australia. And then from Australia, we're going back here to Ixtapa. In Ixtapa, we have already booked in just the last 3 weeks almost 12 personal treatment and trainings. A pain-free pregnancy, a couples training. There's a family coming down. There's also a caretaker coming down. He looks after somebody that is in a wheelchair. And he's coming down to learn how to do the non-surgical, because guess what? When you learn how to do our non-surgical and you learn how to create a perfect day on a nutritional, emotional, and physical level, you're going to rock your world. Either you become your practitioner, or you can just keep on giving people money all the time and understand something. My God, you do know that 99% of the therapy out there is diluted or twisted and doesn't work. You can get mad at me for all these truth bombs if you want. But the reality is this: if you want to sit down with it and come from your heart, you'll know that I'm not trying to tear healthcare apart. It's already tearing itself apart. And the reality is I give enough money back guarantees, and I have the world's largest library on self-care and self-love. All master classes, all videos, beautifully done, and you don't pay a penny. I have what's called the Braveheart Online Emotional Masterclass, and that was $1,200. That's free to you, free to everybody. It's just sitting there. Sometimes I wonder if I should have done it, but the reality is I've got to give it free, because the thing is that the more action you take, the more powerful you are in your stance. Everybody thinks you're up to something. And the reality is I'll just keep on giving as much as I can away for free, because we're trying to bless people. But the reality is guess what? I just built a $200,000 app, which will be out in about 3 months. 90% of that is free, and that's to bring the whole world together. At least give it a good shot, right? With this app, I say one thing: I want to create 1 billion smiles that stay on people's faces no matter what goes on in their day, because that's how you win your life. That is how you win your life. These are all the different trainings that we do here. You should see our place. It's absolutely gorgeous here. And I will be doing a video. There'll be more pictures going up. And if you want to know more about it, go to DOD5star.com. This is where we do all our treatment and trainings. Or if you just want to come down and you want to just do an advanced water fast or a juice fast, or you just want to eat the best food ever, and then just get Cellsonic, Cardio Med Bed, Wolf Non-Surgical, we'll actually have some really amazing massage therapists come in, and to have them come to the house, they charge like about $35. Okay, so, and we're not out to try to make money everywhere, and you can get all the organic juices all day long. You can have the best fresh seafood if you want. The reality is we're going to build the package that you're saying that you are learning how to love and care for yourself, and you're actually pleasuring yourself, gifting yourself for the first time. You can't give what you're not. Just know that. So we do couples treatment and training, where a couple come down and they learn the Wolf Non-Surgical. They learn about emotional health, physical health, nutritional health. They learn how to really love and care for themselves so that they can love and care for each other. Wouldn't that be something different? Seriously? That man and woman are no longer against each other. Husband and wife aren't against each other. They become two spirit beings. Wolf Non-Surgical training, if you just want to come down for that and then get therapy, or you want to come down and get certified. It's a 12-day course if you want it privately. But also, Dr. Sage Wolf will fly anywhere in the world to you to certify you or do a personal treatment or training. Okay? And then we do what was called an athletic non-surgical certification. These are mainly for trainers and sports people. And then pain-free pelvic restoration. Somebody's coming down to get treated, and we may teach the husband or the sister or somebody how to work on just that pelvic area with Wolf Non-Surgical to start taking the fibroid and get rid of the scar tissue one step at a time. Pain-free pelvic restoration, Wolf Non-Surgical. Well, that would be getting the full Wolf Non-Surgical training and not certified, but just so that you can do it for your wife, your daughter, or whoever's in trouble. Pain-free pregnancy, A pain-free pregnancy, that is incorrect. That is actually the pain-free pregnancy course. It can go anywhere depending on how much they want to learn. But what we do is we teach you from before you're pregnant all the way to the child is 2 years old on what you do to have a pain-free pregnancy and the most healthiest child you could have. I kid you not. Okay? And then I've already talked about the rest. So go to DOD5star.com if you'd like more information. And like I said, Dr. Sage Wolf will come anywhere around the world to certify you or do a personal treatment and training. Here's where our next New World practitioner trainings, like Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical, and the pelvic course are going to be happening. So I will tell people that if you're going to come, please book. If we do not have at least 8 people, we'll let you know in advance. Okay, and if you're flying, please always buy cancellation insurance. But we'll put a counter. We're going to put a counter on all of these to let everybody know exactly how many people have signed up. Okay, but don't hesitate. Yeah, and if something happens and we can't do a course because they call another COVID party, then we will give all your money back. Okay, or move you to the next course. Okay. These are the people you would get in touch with if you decided you want to come to the courses. All right, and just know that Ixtapa, Mexico, is where our world headquarters are. We do have a place in Texas and another one in Puerto Rico, but it's mainly here because I believe that civilization like we know it in the United States and Canada is crumbling very quickly, and it's not crumbling here. I believe that this is going to be the first world country, and they're going to be a third world country. The way things are going, and I'm not sure if we can actually stop it. I think it's called a controlled demolition. That's what I think it is. Okay? Anyways, there's the pricing again of our courses. And don't forget, you know what? Check out the Perfect Day Guide. Go through it. It doesn't cost you anything. It's my life's work. And it's not my life's work where I go on and on and on and just talk, try to pull you into me. I gave you everything that you can take massive personal action yourself. If you don't want to call me, you don't want to come here, read the guide and be blessed with it. Okay? All right? Just go to pdgfree.com. And like I said, every Tuesday I come on live at 1 o'clock. I'm on all these platforms. Doc of Detox, Telegram, Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. I think there's one missing. Yeah, I think there's one missing, right? Telegram, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter. Which one am I missing? TikTok. Not here. Yeah, also TikTok. Okay, so just know that, everyone. And for those of you that are practitioners or those of you that are in the medical system, and you're getting harassed because you've got one toe in the natural health field, you can get actually adopted by the Taino tribe and get your doctorate in indigenous medicine, and nobody can touch you for the work you do. Now you're outside of all the rules. I'm serious. This has already been tested in Supreme Court, and I'll be more information on that next week. But if you want to know more about that, just go to practitionersprotection.com, and it's as easy as walking in the park. It is. All right, my Braveheart Nation app will be coming out, and the people in India, we got the most professional firm in India to build it, and they've named it the Beast, okay? Because of what it's going to do. It's going to create a Braveheart Nation. Remember, okay, the only permanent health care is self-care. The only permanent love is self-love. My God, just think if you loved yourself, how would your light shine? Unconditionally. Learn how to fly by first loving yourself, everybody. Together we are stronger. And I'm going to read the Braveheart oath here in a second. But these are all my contacts, okay? So there's my phone numbers, 469-861-8884. Feel free to call me on WhatsApp or USA Direct. Doesn't matter where I am in the world. If you call me on my phone, just direct from USA, it's not going to cost you if you got United States calling. Toll free, 855-900-4544, extension 5. That's dial pad. It works anywhere around the world. It's toll free. Okay? If you've got other questions, you can push extension 0 on the 800 number. Go to BHN University for certifications and trainings. That's my pdgfree.com guide we talked about. And go to practitioner protection if you want to be protected. And DOD5star.com. Come down and book a retreat. Okay? You know what people say about when they come down here? What a holiday. What a healing. So let's finish off with this. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God, because I am, I can, I am love, I am healed, I am Braveheart. I want to thank you for being here. And remember something, everyone, okay? Love yourself unconditionally for one day. And tell me why you should be punished for that. 3, 2, 1. We got this, Braveheart Nation.